You good if I record? You don't mind? Okay. Hey y'all, my baby's in the background. Oh my gosh, so we went to my mom's yesterday, and when I got back, because I went to, my cousin had a game board, like charcuterie and snacks and games party. When we got back, August was so out of sorts, and then we slept in the same bed, and overnight I was like, I could tell. I just knew he was about to get sick. I knew he was about to get a fever. So this morning I took his temperature. It's like a low grade, like 99. So we're just relaxing, right? Yeah, we're just relaxing. You want to wave to?
Pray for me, please.
Go ahead.
Pray for me. Viewers.
Oh, viewers, pray for him. Okay.
What did you order?
Did I order? Yes, I ordered the Wingstop. Talking about some yay. Anyway, y'all, hopefully y'all don't mind seeing his legs and feet. Hey, good people, welcome back to the channel. Whether you're new or returning, thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me. This is your first time here. My name is Kara, and I'm just kind of all over the place right now. But today what we're gonna be doing is talking about all the beauty products that I've used pretty much for February and March. And it's been sitting out here, so I need to film this so I can put everything away. It's looking real crazy. It's gonna be like speed reviews, really, of a bunch of different products. And if that sounds good to you, keep watching this video. Let me know what you think, and definitely consider joining the community because I'd love to have you back. All right, let's get started. So how are you? I cannot complain. I just got back from an hour walk, and let's normalize looking cute for the walk. I'm wearing Lisa Eldridge Velvet Dragon. I did put this on after I got back because, you know what? I really need to start experimenting with my bolder lip colors, which I rarely do. I love new colors. I thought it would be a cute little look with my hat, whatever. It might not be. Let me know how you're doing in the comment section or the chat, whichever you prefer. And we're gonna get this show on the road. So let's start with some skincare stuff. First, I have this Vanity Cream. This is from Amazon, and I have to say, if you have dry skin, this Vanity Cream is your friend. Now the pump came broken, so I unscrew it. I've used a lot of it. It's unscented. And one of the things I enjoy about it being unscented is that it does not interfere with any fragrances. And I'm hoping, the whole point is that the lotion will help the fragrance to last longer and it doesn't conflict with any of the fragrances that I like to wear. It's really good for irritated skin, dry skin, sensitive skin. I really like it. So again, there's no dye, no fragrance, no lanolin, parabens, and formaldehyde releasers. So this was a great find on Amazon for me. They do sell other products, so that might be something that I look into. This is definitely a repurchase for me. I ordered this Peace Out Acne Gel Moisturizer. I don't know the brand. Is the brand called Peace Out? But I ordered this because it has salicylic acid in it. And Marky is going through puberty. He is, I don't want to say he's struggling with acne, but he has a lot of acne. It can be sore. He doesn't really mess with it or anything like that. But sometimes when they come to a head, they do get sore. So I thought this would be a really good moisturizer for him, as well as for myself, because I am starting to get some acne on my chin. And that's always where I have it if I do have acne. So I thought it would be a great moisturizer for me. However, what I don't like about this is I'm almost 100% sure that it does not go well under makeup, and it makes the makeup like pill. Like I saw little, I don't know, like, you know, if you like go like this on your face and then like little things come off, little skin. That's what I saw happening with this. I am like 99.9% sure that it was this product. So this is something that I think I would use at nighttime before bed, or on a day where I know I'm not wearing any makeup at all. I'm not gonna use this as my moisturizer under my makeup. I will continue to use it on Marky. And I did purchase this from Sephora because it was half off. It was $18 and I got 2 of them. So I will mostly save this for Marky. I have the Laneige Bouncy and Firm Eye Sleeping Mask. This was great until the consistency changed. And that's what I did not like about it. So it is that what they consider a bounce material or texture, but it was clear. It was like a gel, but that's what it looks like now. And so when you put it on your skin or your eyes, that's kind of the texture. I don't think it's supposed to do that, and I stopped enjoying it. So I am not gonna finish this one or repurchase it. Right now I am using an eye cream from, it's like Beauty by Joseon. It's a K-Beauty brand, and I haven't been using it that long, but I think when it comes to my under eyes, is not that I'm having any issues. I do feel as though I have a little bit of darkness, and I think that's also from bad sleep, but I don't have any like pressing issues. The use of my eye cream is more of a preventive measure than anything else. It's hard for me to recommend any eye cream at this point, but I won't recommend that one. So there's that. I'm getting all the boring stuff out of the way. Let's see. Holy Grail, still using my Tatcha Silk sunscreen. Love this stuff. I use it as my makeup primer as well. I'm not sure if it's designed to be a primer or not, but that's what I use after I put on my moisturizer, and I will continue to purchase this one. I really like it a lot. This is the Supergoop Protectant SPF 50. I've had this for a while at this point. I think the shade match is great, and I'm into any products that have sunscreen in them. This is gonna be one I'm probably gonna wear a lot this summer. All right, let's get to more fun things. Let's talk about this Dior Contour Stick. This is in the shade Tan, and it's actually a bronzer. I have not been wearing bronzer lately, but I decided, Kara, you need to pull these things out and use them because you have them. I am on a bronzer no buy, so I am gonna just get to know the ones that I have. This is a beautiful warm shade. It really blends nicely with your finger once you warm it up, and that's how, oh, I thought the Wingstop was here. And that's how I prefer to use this one. It leaves a nice semi-matte hue on the skin, and I think it works well with a brush too, but I've been into using my fingers lately. I will continue on with that one. Okay. I have come up with what I call the trilogy for my concealer and color corrector. So back when the Huda Beauty Faux Filter color correctors came out, I did purchase the Cherry Blossom and the Guava. And what I like to now do is take Cherry Blossom here, one dot of Guava here, and then the Huda Beauty concealer, which I wear the shade Granola, and put that in the middle. And then I take my BK Beauty brush, which is one of my favorite brushes. This is the A506 brush, which is perfect for concealer. And then I just tap it all in. And what I love about this combination is that I'm not layering on layers of makeup. I'm doing one layer of concealer and color corrector and blending it all together so that it just doesn't cake up. That is what I really want to avoid. I feel like these products are very skin-like. They blend out so nicely, and I'm actually glad that I have both colors because it's honestly the mix of both of these shades that I think is perfect for me, although I can use them both on its own. I pulled these out for this month because before that I was using the Natasha Denona color corrector and concealer. I did run out of the Natasha Denona concealer, and that is a holy grail. However, I'm actually thinking about trying a different shade because now that I'm not really wearing foundation, I'm not sure if the tan rosy peach is the right shade. I do think I could do rosy, but I think peach is a little too orange because I'm a neutral undertone. And I was also looking at just maybe a neutral one because I rather add the peach, like if I'm gonna do a blush. Sometimes I'll also take my Melt Sandy Cheeks and tap that underneath my under eye if I want more of a peachy tone. So I'd rather add that in than it already be in my concealer. So that's just a side note because I love the Natasha Denona concealer. So I might be venturing with a new shade during the Sephora sale. I was like, let me find a foundation, but I haven't been wearing foundation. If there's one foundation that I did wear over the past couple of months, there's actually been a couple, but not consistently. The Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Foundation. I did do the Protectant, and I have played around a little bit with the Huda Beauty one, the Blur Tint, but not enough at all to speak on them. So I'm not gonna really speak on foundation this time around, which is different, but that's where I'm at with my makeup journey. Let's talk about powders. I have been raving about the Huda Beauty Peach Pie, and I think everybody pretty much raves about the Huda Beauty powder, but I was talking about it in my new makeup releases video. I've decided that I do not like this powder all over my face because it is super blurring. And although that is something that many people aspire to have or have that filtered looking skin, I just don't think that's my look. I don't necessarily like how it looks on me. I feel really makeup-y. I do want a blurred and perfected under eye, but when it comes to powders, I still think my holy grail has to be the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Trio, and this is volume 2. I have gone through one of these already, the original one. We have Soft Light, Radiant Light, and Golden Bronze, and I tend to use all 3 shades. The finish that's left on your skin, to me, is just so beautiful in person. It doesn't look overly matte. I don't really want this on my under eye. I mean, it just depends on the finish of it, but this is the under eye powder right here for me, and I really want to try the Ube one, the lilac one. I think I'm going to try that for VIB, even though I said I was not going to purchase any more powders. I've just seen so many different skin tones use it, and I've really liked it. But again, this one is not going to be my all over. Hold on, Wingstop is here. All right, everybody situate. This will probably be better for me in a mini size, but I want the Ube one. But next time I would repurchase this, I would say in a mini, because I'm always gonna go for the Hourglass. So I would consider this one to be a holy grail, which brings me to the face glaze powder from Melt. This is the glaze skin. Why do I call it face glaze? I just made that up. I think that this is designed to have a similar effect as the Hourglass, but I realized with this one, I think in a way, this one is a little thicker, because this is what I realized that was giving me the more makeup-y look. I don't know if you can see it there, but to me, it's thicker in a way, or maybe it's the ingredients. I'm not really sure, but the Hourglass powder just seems to be a little thin, or maybe I was just putting the Melt one on too thick, and it was giving me, it wasn't really cakey. It was just blurred. Like, it was dewy blurred, but I'm not sure. I do like both of these powders. If I had to choose, it would be Hourglass, but I like the one from Melt. And I have this one in a tan shade as well, because you can use it to do a little bit of bronzing, but I would just go lightly on it. And I think sometimes when I'm doing my makeup, depending on the lighting, sometimes I have trouble, especially if I'm filming, knowing like when to stop, especially when you have the lights, you know. So I like this. Would I repurchase it? I would say probably not, because I do think it's supposed to give the same type of finish as Hourglass, but I do love Melt, and I think this was a really good product for their line. I saw some varying reviews of this product here. Some people felt like it was too highlighty. I don't really feel that way. I think the Hourglass one's better though. Even the tone of the medium shade, I think Hourglass is better. So, I mean, because even I've blended it in, and you see that the Melt one is still kind of there. So it is giving some extra as far as color, but the Hourglass one really blends in. And I could be making all this up, So there's that piece as well. The Hourglass is going to win out for my powder, and then the peach powder for the under eye. I do want to talk about the Grande Lash Serum and Mascara. So one of my friends on here, and I apologize because I have not responded to the comment because there's so many things in the comments. Like there was so much useful information in the comment that this person wrote. They were talking about the lash serum, and one of the things that I didn't know because I didn't read about it is that you're not supposed to just continuously use the lash serum. You're supposed to do like on and off. And I was noticing that I felt like my lashes weren't as long anymore, or that they weren't getting longer. Now they're only gonna grow but so long with the serum. But I think you're supposed to do something like 3 weeks on and 2 weeks off and then start back up. I do know that some people have negative effects from lash serums, and I have not experienced that. One of the things that this person was talking about was losing some of the orbital fat. There could be some darkening of the eyelids, which I have not experienced any of those things. So please let me know if you are irritated by lash serum. But I did feel like the Grande Lash kind of maxed out. And I think it's because I wasn't giving myself a break. So I am gonna stop using it for a couple of weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. I do still like the Grande Drama mascara because it is thickening. Now today I'm wearing the Tarte Man Eater mascara in brown. So it's not really giving a whole lot, and that's okay. Because it's okay. I don't know, it's fine. But I like this. This is my second one, and I just started using this one. Eyeshadow primer. I have really been going strong with the About Face primer. I feel like it's a good eyeshadow primer. I go between this one and the one from NARS. So no changes there. Also no changes in brow products. I use the Patrick Ta Brow Lamination Gel. Been using that for years. The Charlotte Tilbury Legendary Brows Gel. And then I use my Express Brow from Maybelline. The pencil that fills in the brows. So, all right, let's do highlighter. I have not been wearing highlighter. I completely stopped with that because I wear a lot of dewy products, and I just felt like I don't need highlighter. But because I have so many and I'm not purchasing any more highlighters right now, I'm on a highlighter freeze. I'm gonna break these out and use them, whether it's for a shadow, a highlighter, whatever the case may be. I'm gonna find a way, especially because some of the sizes of my highlighters are extremely large, like this one from Chanel. This one came out, I would say maybe 2 years ago, so the embossing is still there in full effect. This is called Or Rose, and this is a really beautiful highlighter. I mean, the only way I feel like you could mess highlighters up for me is if they're just too glittery or too chunky. Like that's what would ruin it for me. And there was a time when I was into, I don't want to say really glittery highlighters, but I didn't mind them as much, especially from the indie brands. But for the most part, I really like to go for natural highlighters. This one is an oversized one, and honestly, this is really the only highlighter that one would need. But we all know that I have more than that. So I like that. The highlighter that I've really fallen in love with is this one from Fenty Beauty, and it's called the Demi Glow. This is in the shade Yum Rum. I don't know if it's the softness of it, but it's almost the same shade as the one from Chanel. And I would say you're getting a Chanel quality with no music here for Fenty. This is completely overpriced and very ridiculous. Now, the other highlighter that I have here is from Gucci. This is the Frosted Lilac shade. I actually have 2 Gucci highlighters, but I use one as an eyeshadow. I love lilac highlighters. I think they look so icy and so beautiful. I have a lilac one from Chanel that's in that balm formula. But I love that, and I think this one is so pretty. My mom, she probably wants to check on August. She had a good point. She was telling me to check August over for ticks, which Yeah, I'm gonna do that for sure. All right, so the Gucci highlighter, is it worth the price that it was? I would say we could probably find another highlighter with this quality for less. Now these are the Dior Forever Glow Maximizers. I really like these a lot. These look great on bare skin. They look great over makeup. They don't mess up the makeup. So I have rosy, peachy, and I do have bronze, which is really nice for bronzing. But I stay using these. So that's the peachy. And again, it's gonna give you that nice, more natural sheen, but it does build if you want it to. And as I said, it doesn't mess up the makeup that you have underneath. I think for some skin tones, this could even be a dewy blush. So I'm gonna continue using these. Again, they're overpriced. They are products I would not purchase unless they were on sale. And I'm not even wearing highlighter today, so that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't really have a need for highlighter at all. That's it for the highlighters. So let's talk about blush. Yes, let's add something funny here. I love this one from Givenchy. I have been talking about this one for a while, and I don't really own loose blushes. It's just the two I have from Givenchy. And this one is called Shade 4 Organza Sienna. So it's like a sienna color. It's kind of like brick reds, terracottas. It's a really pretty blush and it diffuses nicely. I think the downfall is it's messy. You have to take this puff out. I don't use this puff to apply the blush at all. And then you tap it in the cap and do all that. So it's a messy blush, but I think the outcome of how it looks on your face is worth it on a sale. I do like it. It's worth the mess. The NYX Buttermelt blushes are still favorites for me. I have like 6 of these. This one is for the butter and it's a soft mauve. These are extremely pigmented and I think they're still very much worth it in 2025. They're just great blushes. They did a great job and I know they have highlighters too, so I'm curious if they would compare to the Chanel or the Gucci ones, because they did a great job. I mean, NYX has some great products, so I don't really have anything bad to say about NYX. We also have the Natasha Denona blushes. They're called High Blush, and there are highlighters in here as well. I actually like these more than I thought I would. I think the texture of both products are very nice. They are buildable. They blend in well with your fingers. They look nice on bare skin as well as over makeup. And if they do fade, it didn't fade in a patchy way. I always look for a graceful fade of makeup because my makeup doesn't last all day. You know, it does fade some, and that's just me, but I'm okay with all of that. I just like the application process. I like the experience of putting it on, and I like the tones on my skin. I do recommend these. These are only 2 blushes I've bought this year, and I've only bought 3 makeup products myself this year, which the Natasha Denona blushes and then the Bloom palette from Tasha. I've really cut back a lot and am really trying to get a grasp on the types of products that I truly love. I just don't want to be a content creator that's just using something one time and then I really can't speak on it. This blush from House Labs, I hate how they made these smaller, but this is French Rosette. This one and Fire Moon, I love both of these tones. I highly recommend the House Lab blushes. I think they're great. I do have 4 of the other ones in the original size. I don't really have an issue that they made them smaller. I mean, I don't think I'm gonna use those big blushes, but I don't think there was much of a difference in the price, if I recall. So for the size difference, yeah, you're still paying a nice amount for this blush, but they're beautiful, pigmented, buildable, all the good things. And with that, I'm gonna give my normal disclaimer that there's not a bunch of bad makeup out here in the streets these days. And I know that when I first got into makeup, we were getting to the point we are now, but there were still some not so great products. Now we do have products still coming out that aren't in great shade ranges, and hopefully those brands will get themselves together. But as far as quality, I don't really come across things that are like terrible or like, oh my gosh, it's horrible. I do have things I like better than others, but I feel like all the makeup in my collection is good. And if it's not, I'm getting rid of it. That's part of the quest I'm on this year. Another blush that I really like is the one from Fenty. This is the Hot Cheeks blush. And this one is Juicy Peach. It's like that baked formula that you can kind of press in. A really pretty blush. I mean, it's a like more of a satin finish. Oh, this is reminding me of, it's kind of reminding me, see, I'm glad I'm doing this. There's one I have in my cart from YSL, and it's a pink satin finish like this. And it almost looks like it has some gold in it. It almost reminds me of like a NARS Orgasm. And that's what this kind of reminds me of. So I'm thinking I should remove that one from cart. See, and that's why doing things like this is important for me. This one from Rare Beauty, the shade Happy. I love this tone. This goes so nice over like a pink blush. This one's kind of icy. I don't know if it will go great on everybody, but I love these. I really do. So I have two that I'm keeping, and then I have two that are just too dark, and I just needed to have them. But I'm gonna gift those two deeper shades. So I have Happy and Joy. And while we're talking about Rare Beauty, I know I'm late to the game. I've had this probably since the launch of these products, but I am just amazed at the pigmentation on these Rare Beauty blushes. It's amazing. 2 dots at best, and that will do like 2 small dots on each cheek. And then you can add to it if you want to, but you can end up putting too much on. So I do have 2 of these in my cart for the VIB sale. Now, I don't need any blushes, so that's just something to keep in mind. But I just put everything I want in the cart, and then I'll really try to go through it. I love this shade. It's kind of a nudie, cool mauve shade, and it's just really nice. Like, I think I would just get 2 more of these, then try out the new blushes that she has. Like, these are just that good. Now I do have 4 melt blushes. I talk about these all the time, so I'm not gonna spend too much time because you can't get them anymore. But if you have these, pull them out. Raw Honey, as well as Queen Bee. Unfortunately, these are discontinued, but these are still available. So we have Honey Thief this month that I pulled out. I usually am using Sandy Cheeks. And then Polished. These are probably my favorite cream blushes if I had to choose, and I would definitely repurchase them. They are awesome. That's one of the products that Melt has really done an awesome job with. I got Paradise Glow here from Pat McGrath. This is also a repurchase because I broke my original one because I had it in my book bag for work. This is Paradise Venus, I think, and Desert Orchid mixed. So I used to love Desert Orchid, but Paradise Glow definitely beats out Desert Orchid and the other one, Paradise Venus, I think. Even though Patricia is driving me nuts right now. Okay, I brought these Hourglass Unreal blushes out. When I finally got my hands on them and I did the video, I was disappointed because I just couldn't figure out how to use them. I hadn't watched any reviews. I didn't know that there was the button that you're supposed to press on the bottom. Now I absolutely love them. I think they are great. Oh, that means I probably don't need to get the Rare Beauty one. At least not the one. There's one that I have in my cart that's this color. So now I need to remove that out the cart. Damn, and this is darker. But I have 2 of these in my cart, but one I do think is this color. So I'm gonna have to look. I really like these. I don't see any other colors that I want in these Unreal blushes. So I'm gonna enjoy the 2 that I have. This is the shade Moment, and this one is the shade Scene. Really love these. So I need to look at my cart and compare. That's why it's important for me to know what's in my collection. I have the Latte blush here from Huda Beauty, the blush filter. These are great. I think Rare Beauty beats this one out because the pigment and how the doe foot is. I like this. I do have the Ube Birthday Cake one in my cart though, because I want that lilac shade. I really do. I don't think if I have any other lilac blushes, but I don't know. I probably do. Now this one Intense Plum. This one and Soft Red. I don't have Soft Red in this pile, but I've been wearing these Gucci blushes as well. Very beautiful, very overpriced. This might look like yeah, it almost looks like this is NYX, this is Gucci. So I think the NYX is just as good as the Gucci. Unless you're just into packaging, I would go with NYX. So very good on that. Any more blushes? Oh, yes, we have more. We have Your Girl No Music, Baking Cakes. This is the one, y'all. This blush, look, I done broke it. This is the blush right here. I bring this with me, even though I never reapply my blush. I'm gonna clean it. But I love those brownie blush colors. And then I also have What a Brat here, which I just sought after What a Brat when it was a highlighter. It's really beautiful as a blush. It's very icy, which I like. And remember, don't buy Fenty from Sephora because she has a better discount. We have 2 blushes left. Oh, and we have a face palette. So this one from Say, this is another really good one. This is called Mauve Glow. It's a glow sculpt, so it's almost like a blush light. You can top your blush with it, or you can use it as a blush. So I love that. This is my Chanel Chains blush. I'm trying to figure out when I wore that because this goes back to February, so I'm not sure. But I love my Chains blush. Reminding me a lot of the Hourglass at Night blush. So you don't have to spend that money. Matter of fact, I want to say there's a NYX one that's the similar color. All right, we have the Hourglass Snake palette. This palette is my baby. I think that this palette and the Tiger palette still beat out the 2024 holiday palettes. But I love the Snake palette. That's just an all-around great palette for blush, bronzer, highlighter, finishing, eyeshadow. It's just a great palette. That one and Tiger, oh my gosh. All right, we have come, oh no, we didn't come to eyeshadow yet. Do we want to do eyeshadow now or save it for last? Let's do eyeshadow. Let's not wait till the end for the good stuff. And then we'll do lipsticks. So my number one that I've been wearing is this Gucci. My number one that I've been wearing is this Gucci highlighter. And this is a highlighter that's gonna be for deeper skin tones, but on the eyes, oh my gosh, it is so pretty. And these are so like silky, soft, but that color right there, and I probably have an eyeshadow shade that's similar, but there's something about this. I also love, like, when it goes on, it's like you can press into this, so it's not going to be a highlighter that has any fallouts. When you use it as an eyeshadow shade with your finger, you just kind of press it in. I mean, you can swipe it in, but it's not going to fall out. You're not going to have anything fall out from this shade, and it is so beautiful. I didn't really, well, I don't know what I thought I was going to use it as, because it's definitely too shimmery for it to be a bronzer for me. So I'm trying to figure out why I bought it. I think I bought it because I saw someone use it as an eyeshadow, and I was like, that tone is so pretty. So expensive eyeshadow, but I can say I'm getting my use out of it. This Patchy Ta for the blush, not for anything else, because I like Patrick Ta. This is still at the club. The $42 eyeshadow duo. I still think this is probably the only one that's worth getting. Every single time I've worn this, I've loved it. I have just loved these like brownie taupes. I love the slight difference between the two shades. So if you put this one kind of all over the lid and then maybe tap with this one or put this one on the inner part, you have a whole look there, and you could just use a bronzer if you wanted to as a transition shade, or just another brown, because we all have browns. But I love this shade. This is a really good shade. I think it's the only one that's truly worth having. Also from Patrick Ta, I have the Major Dimension 3 palette. I've been wearing this palette all the time. I wear it like crazy, and I just never thought I was going to fall in love with a matte palette or with doing matte eyeshadow looks, and I've totally fallen in love with it. I really enjoy this palette. I enjoy the rose one. Even the first one, I'm not a huge fan of the shimmers in the first one, but he can work on the shimmers, but the mattes are just, they're just great. Like, they are great for all your looks. This is like an all-purpose palette, and I am so surprised at how much I'm using it, and it makes me happy because that palette was a repurchase because I bought it and then I was like, I'm not going to wear this. Returned it, saw someone do some looks, rebought it, and that's all she wrote. Another neutral palette is the one I have from Skin by Kim. This is the Classic Glam eyeshadow palette. So you know her brand is now going to be under Skims. You can see this one is a lot cooler than the Patrick Ta, and it's got some really nice shimmers. I would say her formula is really similar to the one from Makeup by Mario. So I don't have any issues with this palette. It's another palette it's just easy to use and goes pretty much with everything that I wear, and all the shades go together. Like, you can't create a bad look. I have here the Mothership Sublime Bronze Ambition palette from Patricia. And this is another one, and this one has seen better days with the packaging, but this is another really easy going palette where you could just do one and done shades, or you could just use like maybe two if you wanted to. It's just an old faithful, and oftentimes when I don't know what I'm gonna wear, this palette usually finds its way to the eyes because it's just really easy to use. Now, the date on this says May 2020, so you know it's about 5 years old, but it's doing what it needs to do. I finally pulled out the Mothership 11. Just with the release of Mothership 12, it made me want to go back and try this one, and this was gifted to me from my friend Jamie, which one of the shades was broken, and she gave me the palette. On its own, this palette is really beautiful. I mean, it kind of reminds me, I was gonna say a Divine Rose 1 in a way, but I don't know, the variations of the rose palettes are just so slight. I did not purchase the newest Mothership. I am happy that she came out with a different color story, but I don't know if the moment has passed for me. But as always, Pat McGrath's shadows and mattes perform extremely well. I like the look that I made, and you know, I'm glad that it's in my collection. Would I have purchased it? I probably wouldn't have. Just with how large my Pat McGrath collection is, it just might not have made sense. I have a BYOP palette here, and this one, I'm not sure what month this was from, but it's definitely a reflection of the types of shades that I go for these days. And I love these like earthy neutral tones. That's like my thing, earthy neutral. Yeah, I'm glad I just discovered that. And what else? I think I have another BYOP. This was February's, I believe. And it ended up looking a lot like one of the other Pat McGrath 6 pans that I have called Platinum Bronze. Platinum Bronze. Yeah, I didn't realize that that's what I was building, but I pretty much built my own version of Platinum Bronze. It was like a wild card, so we didn't really have a thing. Now, I did purchase, this is the first palette I bought, but this was a gift. It was like with a gift card, so I didn't count this. My friend Kelsey, she told me, she's like, you don't need that palette. And I just needed it. But she was right. I didn't need this palette. It's not a bad palette, and I think it looks different than what NARS usually comes out with because it looks to be a little cooler leaning, but when you go like that, I don't know, it still is a little cooler leaning. I didn't need this palette. I'm not sure what the future of this palette will be in my collection, but it's definitely not one that I needed. So I just should have really thought about it. But I feel like at that time I was just itching to purchase something for whatever reason. Here's another surprise. These Melt Petite Stacks. I cannot tell you how much I've used, especially the warm one. And I keep it in this box just because these are cardboard. But these are just the easiest things to use. The quality is great. The mattes, the shimmers, they're just so easy to use. Whenever I can't think of something, the Melt Stacks will come out, and depending on what I'm wearing, will determine whether or not I pull out the warm one or the neutral one. That's the deepest shade. But yeah, this is just great. They all have one shimmer, and they're just great quality. From Melt, I also have the Gemini palette. I think I wore this one on St. Patrick's Day. It wasn't like a bright green look. Beautiful, unique color story. And Melt was one of the first to do it. So I'm glad to have my Gemini palette. Another very similar color story is the Undergrowth palette from Cosmic Brushes. This is another really beautiful, beautiful palette. I have nothing negative to say about it at all. Great quality, great pricing. It's kind of like Natasha Denona Yucca palette. So, you know, you can wait for a sale for this, but I think the palette was like maybe $30-something. It's a really nice palette. I have the Nomad Chamonix Après Ski palette, and I just cannot get myself through filming this. I think it's a beautiful palette. I just haven't been in the mood for a lot of colors. Even though these are muted and cool tone, it just hasn't been my thing. But it is a beautiful, really beautiful palette, and Nomad continues to be so creative and outdo themselves with their color stories. Okay, the rest of these palettes are from my girl Tasha. The I Need a Nude palette. This was like my shocker of 2024. I cannot believe how much I love this palette and how many compliments I get whenever I wear this palette. Every time. And most of the time I wear the same shade. It's like Vogue and then one other shade. But it's that peachy tone, that rosy tone that I feel like looks good on my skin. But I do need to try some different looks, but I always go for the same one just because I love the tones. The I Need a Warm palette is another really easy to use palette. It is warm, but it's not like the bronze palette. You know, it's going to give you those neutrals. But this is another really great one from Natasha Denona. I think Natasha Denona is my favorite brand. I did use the Glam palette, which I do kind of have a love-hate relationship with this one. So I should try to use that one a little bit more. And I also used my Baby Xenon. This was my 2023 palette highlight because I just didn't think that I would ever fall in love with a palette that looked like that. And lastly from Tasha is the Bloom palette, which I did do one look with the Bloom palette, and again, beautiful peachy warm tones, no issues at all. I do have some eyeshadow sticks. I've decided I'm not an eyeshadow stick girl. They just crease too much for me. I want it to be because of the ease factor, but I have these two from Fenty. Well, maybe one is from Fenty. Hold on. One might be from ColourPop. They're great shades, but for some reason, well, not for some reason, it's the hooded eye situation. I just feel like, I don't know, they don't really have the effect on my eyes that I want them to have, although I think the convenience of them, if they work for you, is great. All right, so that's going to be it for the eyeshadows. And now we're going to sum up the video, not sum up, but we're going to finish up the video with lipstick. I've got a bunch of liners here, but I want to first talk about the Sasho lip liner stain. And maybe it was the shade I bought. This didn't do anything for me. It's the shade, this is the shade Moi. So, you know, you're supposed to line your lips and then peel it off, and it's supposed to give you like a liner effect that's supposed to last for a few days. I may have made some mistakes. I've only done it once, so the jury is out on that one. But let's just talk about the rest of the liners that I have. I don't really have any bad liners. The ones from ColourPop are fantastic. I've had them for years, and I have the whole vault. I think they're great. The lifter liner from Maybelline is very good. The Fenty liners are great. Remember, only get them from her site. And of course, my girl Lisa Eldridge has some great liners. And I even have one from Huda Beauty right here. So the liners are, you know, doing what they need to do. I just think sometimes it's frustrating, or I do think that sometimes it's annoying when you sharpen in a certain way and then the whole piece falls out. But I mean, that's really like all I can say. But that's really the only complaint I have. I've got some lipsticks here from Skin by Kim, and I've decided, because I do have some of the silky matte ones, they're too movable. These, they don't move, and I love the nude tones. So I'm not sure if I'll be purchasing any more, but I really love the tones. I don't think I'll be purchasing any more of those the silky ones. These are the originals. ColourPop Lippy Sticks. I'm still wearing these a lot. I did give half of my vault to my sister, and we decided like which ones we wanted. But these are great. They're just super convenient. My Tier lip oil is always an Old Faithful. I think this is just as good as the Dior. And what else? Okay, so for the last part, we're just gonna roll through a few lipsticks. My Fenty Gloss Bombs, the sticks, I can wear those. I don't get an irritation. Love these. I'm not going to ask her to come out with any more shades because I don't need to buy any more because I have 6 of them. I have the NARS Matte Balm, which I really like this one too because I've never seen something matte that also claims to be a balm. And I think this product does a pretty good job. I have my Nude Look lipstick with the special case from Dior. Love my special cases. And that's what it looks like. I love that shade. From YSL, I can't remember what they were called, but they're like the Love Shines now, but that's not what they're called. And I love this. These smell like fruity. I really love them. And what else? My birthday gift from Makeup by Mario. This is the Rosewood Glow. Love those. We also have a Kaleidos lip clay. This is in the shade Adobe. And I love how powdery these make your lips feel. Excellent. From Suku. This is one of the Moisture Glaze lip products or lip balms. Love that. I don't know what happened to the case. This lipstick is called Circe. This is from Melt Cosmetics. I've worn that this week. I love the tone. I love it with, I want to say I wore it with my Peony liner from Hourglass. Absolutely love that. Lisa Eldridge. I have New Wave out here, but I didn't wear New Wave. New Wave is really pretty, but I'm wearing Velvet Dragon. I've worn Sorcery. I'm trying to think. I brought a Fair with me when we travel, so I love that. And the last two, we're going to go with Marked by a Kiss, I think, from Charlotte Tilbury when she came out with the new lipstick collection last year. And this is a red that I really like. I'm trying to figure out my reds. And we have the shade Sparrow from Hourglass. And this is one of the mattes. You know, they have the satins and the mattes. And Hourglass really did a great job with these lipsticks. So that is going to be it. These are the products that I've been wearing. And aside from the ones that I told you in the beginning that I didn't like, I really like everything that's here. So if you were to say, like, do you recommend any of these products? Yeah, I do. I would recommend on a sale. And I think it's time for us to start thinking about which brands have the deeper discounts, because this Sephora sale is coming, and I think 20% off is nice, but we know that some of the brands like Fenty, she will have a friends and family 30% off. And I think Makeup by Mario might have 25% off. So, and then there are those brands that don't have sales, like Gucci and stuff like that. That's my roundup. That's how I'm feeling about the products. All the makeup is good. All of it. So that's just something for me to think about when I say I really want to try this. I want to try this new product. I'm not trying it to find out if it's good anymore. It's going to be good. There may be some preferences, but it's going to be overall good. Just share some of the products you've been using a lot lately down in the comment section. I would just love to know and catch up with you all and how you're feeling about this makeup world here. Thank you so much for taking out some of your time and hanging out with me for another one today. I hope this was therapy for you. It always is for me. And until I see you again, make sure you're being gentle with yourself. Talk to yourself nice, stay safe, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye. Go on,